your father should be worried about me getting to him.
No, that is just not the way you want to go in.
Oh, we had an agreement, and he changed it. That makes me angry. And James Stenbeck is going to hear about it.
Well, something for the new mother.
Don't expect a thank you card.
Now, feisty today, aren't we, son? Feisty, but as usual, your show of spirit is misdirected.
Mr. Stenbeck, my name is Rosanna Cabot.
You can forego the etiquette. I know who you are, Mrs. Sinclair. And why you're here.
And will you help me?
In ways you can't possibly imagine.
We had a deal. I kept my end of the bargain. I expect you to keep yours. I want you to do that, Mr. Stenbeck, for me. Now, without delay.
Mm-hmm. Has your child been returned to you?
Yes, he has.
Good. Well, then I do expect to thank you. Thank you, Mr. S. I may be incarcerated, but I still have feelings.
Thank you. Mr. Stenbeck, thank you very much for returning my child to me. But our agreement was that I have sole custody of Cabot. And instead, you are expecting me to share parental rights with Jordan Sinclair.
You know, it never ceases to amaze me how people hear only what they want to hear.
What are you talking about?
Your stipulation was that Craig Montgomery no longer have any claim on Cabot. You never mentioned anyone else.
But that's because no one else was involved. Until you put Jordan's name on the adoption papers.
Which I did for your own good.
How do you figure that?
Being a single parent can be a very trying experience. But with young Jordan by your side, that road will be traveled easier.
Mr. Stenbeck, I am a woman who can't have children. Cabot came into my life. I felt like he came from my own body, and I lost him, and you brought him back to me. And forever, I will be grateful to you. But what I need now is to build a life with no complications, with no axes waiting to fall, and you have the power to give me that. So I'm asking you, sir, please, I'm begging you, take Jordan's name off the adoption papers. Please, let my baby and I go in peace.
You're a man. You're intelligent, beautiful, very rich. And you have depth.
Give her an answer. Are you going to take Jordan's name off Cabot's adoption papers or not?
After all the trouble I went through to get his name on the papers, I'd have to be out of my mind.
Why? Why? Why does Jordan have to be Cabot's father?
I'm an old-fashioned man. I believe a child needs two parents.
But why Jordan?
Genes, chromosomes, DNA. I mean, don't you get it? That Jordan is Cabot's father. Hey, don't blame me. Blame biology.
You expect us to believe that Jordan's Cabot's real father?
If you had learned anything from me, Paul, you would have already figured that out all on your own.
I don't... How is this possible?
Well, you have a woman, an ovary, an egg, a man, a little swimmy thing. Certainly you don't need a lesson on that, do you? I mean, from a purely scientific perspective, Jordan is more entitled to Cabot than you
are.
There's no way that that Jordan is Cabot's real father.
No. Why would I lie when all you have to do to prove me wrong is a simple DNA test? I'm telling the truth.
I have a horrible feeling you might just be.
And what's so horrible about finding the perfect home for Jordan's son? A loving mother with untold resources, his real father, to take him to the park, to sporting events.
I'm not going to take your word on this. I want proof that Jordan is Cabot's father.
That's your job.
Look, even if it is true, why should you care about Jordan? Why should you care about Jordan's child?
I promised Jordan's parents that I would look after him. And when I learned that he'd been a bit careless, I felt it was my duty to make things right.
So you've been involved since the beginning?
Your previous husband is an interesting, intelligent man, driven. But when he wants something very badly, well, his judgment suffers.
It was you. You made sure that Craig found Cabot, and then Craig brought Cabot to Rosanna.
And you gave me just enough time to love him and arranged for me to lose him.
I would have, but my enterprising son here jumped in ahead of me. As usual, Paul, your timing, not good.
And knowing how much I loved Cabot, you manipulated me into marrying Jordan Sinclair, which is what you wanted all along.
I'm impressed.
You're not going to get away with it. Rosanna's lawyers will figure out a way to get out of this contract.
As usual, Paul, you're one step behind. Now you can appreciate my frustration with him.
What's he talking about?
If the contract is canceled, Cabot has to go back to the adoption agency.
No, there's got to be something we can do.
The best thing you can do, Mrs. Sinclair, is to hurry home and tell Jordan the happy news. It's your only option. I suggest you make the most of it.
I don't want to get attached to him, Carly, because I'm not going to be in his life much longer.
Hi. How'd he do without me?
Oh, fine. He missed you, but we had a lot of fun. How'd it go?
We're still trying to figure it all out.
Well, if you're waiting for me to leave, don't bother. 'Cause I'm very, very interested in what Paul's father had to say.
You told him? I just said that you were trying to find out if James had anything to do with this.
Well, we still don't have any answers. Mr. Stenbeck was very uncooperative. He didn't tell us anything at all about you and Cabot.
Oh, come on, Rosanna. Didn't Stenbeck say anything? I mean, didn't you ask him why he put my name on Cabot's adoption papers?
I asked. He refused to give me an answer.
So I guess the whole trip was a complete waste.
My father's not somebody you pressure into anything. He doesn't feel like talking. There's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Oh, well, that's just great. If Stenbeck isn't going to tell us anything, how are we going to fix this?
At the moment, I have no idea.
Well, maybe this will help you figure it out. I give you 2 weeks to take my name off the adoption papers and start working on our divorce. Now, if you're not going to do something about it, I will. Excuse me.
Truth now, Rosanna, I could see by the look on your face that you weren't telling Jordan the truth about Stenbeck.
I was as honest as I could be, Carly. That's all I can say. I should go home. Thanks for understanding.
I don't. And I don't like being kept in the dark either.